If I
Welcome from Tokyo, Japan, and Larkspur, California. There's Ezra Palmer, person.
Hi there. Thank you for having me here.
Okay, so now what were you just saying before we were
Okay.
interrupted by recording in progress?
Yes, recording in progress. Now we were talking about
A
exactly what.
marketing, like the aspects of ChatGPT and AI in the
Okay, right,
marketing
right.
world.
So if you're asking, this is my opinion, not that expert, but bombarded every day with with articles about
Yeah.
AI marketing and this kind of stuff. So it seems that one of the biggest questions is how everybody's thinking first of all as I'm assuming that SEO, search engine optimization, getting the right keywords and all that kind of stuff, that kind of thing is dying or fading out because AI is coming on the scene and there's more context, from the prompts that you're doing and this kind of thing
Right.
to search for
Yeah.
certain kinds of websites and information that is not just from a
Well,
traditional.
certainly could find you the information without even going to the website.
Right.
Crazy.
So it doesn't rely just my point is on keywords to do it. There's context and this kind of thing that brings up certain ideas. If I understand it correctly, and not enough to be able to communicate it very well, but I just the fact that there's a difference now that the SEO type of marketing. So that's the point is that's the question. Trying to not get too divergent here. The question that you're going to be asked. So you're going to find the niche of people that aren't asking that question, and there's probably lots of them, that are
Yeah.
actually
Well, a
asking.
lot of people are scared of AI, and they don't know what it can do, and they don't understand it. Even me, I was when you were telling me about it last year. I'm like, well, yeah, yeah. Well, really, but now I said, wow, what a powerful tool that is to make my book happen or my ideas come to life or whatever it is.
I think what's the most beneficial is to view it as, and I'm not saying anything profound. I read it constantly. To have the technology be an assistant,
Yeah,
you
it's
you
an
know,
assistant.
uh,
It remembers everything that you forgot.
to and to be a
You know.
roadmap of your mind and this kind of thing and the kind of
Yeah.
for example, your work with Notebook LM and my work with Notebook LM.
Yeah.
There is actually now starting to get uh, uh, obsolete in a way because now there are platforms you can subscribe to, and they're actually free plans too that have not only Notebook LM but other things. Boom, boom, so you can combine all these things.
Can you do anything visually, like two people talking visually about your idea,
Uh,
like an anime version of two people talking? I wonder.
I
That'll come
just
soon.
procured, and I did spend not too much money, but a little bit of money on this insane, silly thing, which I've just got to spend more time on. But it actually creates an avatar of a baby. I don't know if you've seen those. Apparently, it's a
No.
it's amazing. So you can upload your photo. You can upload my little galaxy suit and have Ed be looking like a baby talking.
That's kind of weird though, baby. I mean, it would
Why?
be nice just like what do those people look like in the Notebook LM? It'd be nice to see those people sitting at a
There are
chair
many
or
ways to
something.
do it. This is just one avenue. You're right. It is
Yeah.
kind of like a weird clown horror movie thing, but it could. But it's also hilarious.
Yeah,
So
I bet.
so you, c- I'm gonna play with it some more if I have any time at all. I mean, anyway, but we were talking mainly about your marketing and getting your niche
Yeah.
going. And so that's what you're going to focus on, I think, would be beneficial, not to be so concerned about the AI, even though that question is so popular, those types of questions. I guess I'm saying that so you're ready for them. You're ready for
Yeah.
someone to pop up with
Well,
some.
I could now I could direct them in some good ways in that way.
Yeah.
What do you think would be an area that somebody would want some consultation on?
Okay. What do we have now? We have was it Gen Z or something? Gen whatever. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's authenticity, right? This
Yeah,
is everybody's authentic, and the good part is it allows you not to have sort of not that great of production values sometimes,
that's right.
as long as your content is
That's
fairly
100% right. Yeah.
fairly good, and you but the main thing, even if your content's a little sucky in the beginning, or if you're authentic, so I really I got passion for this information for you. I'm going to give it to you, and I know I suck right now, but hey, bear with me. You know what I mean? So you just like "Ugh." That kind of vulnerability in what you're doing
Well,
is
what do you think people would ask? They would ask, I have this business and I want to get more business, or, what would be the solutions that I would try to solve? I know that there's a lot of areas that I could cover, but I don't know what people want to know. But I guess I'll find out if they call me,
well, yeah,
or
yeah.
if
You
they
have to do
message me.
market research, of course. But I tell you, what in marketing, from our experience, what people want is the phone to ring, and they don't have to do any sales, right?
Yeah,
The marketing campaign, the radio ads are so successful that
sends people in.
it just
Yeah.
sends people. So that's what that's what they're after. So I guess that's what they're gonna. What now we
I
asked.
wonder how I could get people to message me to set up one of those Zoom calls and pay on PayPal. I went to ChatGPT and asked, "How do you set this up? How do I get paid? How did I?" Oh, boo, 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 just pages and pages and pages of it. So I got that part of it right, but I'm still kind of wondering, how do I get people to say, I want to talk to the Anthony Jean guy. He's a creative consultant. He knows about design. He knows about advertising. He's been in advertising for a long time. He knows about living in Japan. He knows about, that kind of stuff. I don't know how to get that person.
As you're talking, my thing that I'm just a brainstorm in terms of the internal mind of mine is building on your strengths of marketing and living in Japan, especially.
Yeah.
Got to be some publications, some podcast people, some kind of way for you to get some kind of article, some kind of exposure that would want to have you be interviewed, for example, for a podcast. They would want to have you be uh, reposted, your blog or your article for on so your submission to a blog. So you don't have to worry about a blog yet. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about all the work that goes involved. But you provide content for somebody. In other words, you're getting yourself out there to some degree. So you'll start getting. You can build a community. A community has to be built in some way. Now it's not necessarily that you have to do it ultimately, but those types of things have to happen. Um, sometimes,
Yeah, there's a couple of podcasts, a couple of things I could be on about living in Japan and about some hacks to make it easier for
right,
people who
right,
want to live in Japan. But wow, how are we gonna survive this, and this? No friends, the extreme weather.
yeah.
How are we gonna get through those things? Well, I know how to do that. But I'm wondering if people would ask me any questions about music or art or I don't know. I don't know.
Well, who knows? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
that's your sort of mining. Your sort of
yeah, that's
market
true.
research is going to find that out. You're going to be the strangest stuff that might come up. I would say that my gut tells me people will want to know marketing because they obviously it comes down to want to make money,
Yeah.
or there's some compelling reason they have. They have a relative, say, so they have to be in Japan. There's a connection.
Or
There's
how to meet women in Japan when you're over 50
yeah, yeah.
for a new relationship. I
They're
know how to do that.
great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can do it easily now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know how to do it, I would be stumbling block. I know a lot of hacks about Japan.
You know,
Yeah.
there's those websites that are really I don't know, the people women make a lot of money. I don't know how much money men make, but women make a lot of money on these websites. I forgot the name. I'm wondering if those websites or affiliate websites that would have advice, would tend to have advice,
Yeah.
or articles about uh, about these types of things that you could be involved in one of those. See?
It's possible. I mean, there's a lot of avenues. I just never thought about being a consultancy. But one of the things that ChatGPT says, don't call it a consultancy. That's old. That's dated. Just use your name, and you're going to talk to people and help them with whatever problem they're having in these areas.
Okay,
Don't set up a big company. Don't look slick. Just do what you're doing exactly. It looks authentic, and that's what people want. Exactly what you said.
well, I'm going to
That's
give you,
what
I
it
don't know
told
how
me to do.
much time we have, but let me give you this quick primer if you don't mind. I'm going to be imposing and give you. So there's this 10-second sort of elevator pitch, that
Yeah,
if you can answer and do successfully, you will have a better grasp in your case right now of what you want to do. Basically, what it is like this. We can rob it from my trumpet, the brass teaching. When I interviewed 10 to 12 or so of brass players, I found out the biggest problem they have, the biggest challenge they have in playing the trumpet is they don't have any time to practice. Virtually everybody said that.
okay.
That is what they were struggling with more than
Okay.
anything. Um, and what they wanted was they wanted more consistency in their playing. And I said, well, if you could practice, what would you like to do? Well, I would like to be more consistent. I like to have more range. I like to have more endurance. Um, and I said, well, what would happen if all those things happened to you? How would that? What would happen then? Well, I'd be playing like a professional. See, that's because that's really the goal they want. So you have to think about if you can think about those things for your business. The idea is what is it that most people that your target, your niche, what is the single thing that they run into? And that's where the Japan
I think the single thing is, well, let's say men in the United States that have been through divorce and they want to meet someone out, they don't want to meet, but they want to meet someone from Ethiopia or Africa or like my friend did in Ghana, or they want to meet a Russian girl. They want to come to Japan and they want to meet international women. They're tired of American
so it's
women.
tied to the passion though. What is there's because here they're struggling with time to practice. In your case,
Yeah,
they're struggling with
loneliness.
here, well, okay, that's great. That's great. So what I mean, you think about that because then you go get those three things happening because what you found is that if they had the time to practice, they what the kind of problems they run into if they had time to practice would
Yeah.
be in the trumpet playing range, endurance, blah blah. So in your case, what it would be, for Ed from Zaraz,
Loneliness. Are you lonely? Let's cure that.
loneliness,
Loneliness sucks.
security, passion, or something. What I mean, you know what I mean?
Certainly, loneliness. Those other things might not even be that important. But
But the
just
three
having
things that
somebody in your life that likes you and that is interested in you,
well, they're important to
that's
somebody.
a biggie.
You see, that's why if you do the seminar, do the market study, you would have
That's a
them
good
do that.
idea. You're right.
Then you say, and what they really want is to be able to have a successful relationship in Japan or something. You really what they want to do
Or
is
bring them over to the United States, or at
yeah,
least
that's the
come to
word you're looking
Japan
for.
every three
See,
months and have that relationship,
so
and
so
then leave, or.
so work with it. Yeah, I guess you
Yeah,
have the tape. The
that's
recording.
one good area. I think relationships over 50. I'm trying to think of another area that would be good for me.
I'm
But
telling you,
most people don't do art.
if you could follow that formula, I don't mean to interrupt because you're saying some really cool things. What I'm saying though is if you're willing to follow
Yeah.
that formula, since you'll have the recording, it's going to empower you. I know it's airy fairy, but you're going to start thinking.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Is what do they really need? You might think, oh, it's money, but it's not really money. It's
But then
it's time to practice. Or yeah, I see what you mean. There's like a core thing there that is a little bit hard to ascertain. But once you ascertain that core value that they're trying to get, then that
right,
that will make it easier to get the job, to get the
yeah,
clients.
because it would seem that someone who could afford you or want to work or spend the money either for you eventually or whatever to get the advice on marketing that you would
Yeah.
give, they already have money. So it's not about money. That's not the issue at all. Perhaps it would seem to me they want to get laid in Japan,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
have
Yeah.
it be easy, and
Right.
all work out legally, and they got to protect their assets, they got to blah blah blah. How do
But
they?
I think that's one area. I'm wondering if another area would be how to be how to try to be happier when over 50. Like if you're, let's say you're working and you want to do something you've always wanted to work on cars, but you just don't have the wherewithal to get it started. My brother said something like, I'd love to work on old 57 Chevys, but I don't have the time. You're 83 and you're still working and you don't have the time. I mean, I think a lot of people want to do something, but they don't know how to get it going.
Right. Okay. That's great. So
That's one area,
yeah, you could what?
especially men.
Hmm.
Yeah, hobbies over 50.
But I heard a statistics in Google, of course, what I call Google Comics, the other day, Google News, um, of the amount. I think it was that, or maybe it was on TV. But anyway, per day, there's something over 1,000 American citizens have become millionaires or something. I mean, maybe per
Uh,
month. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but it's some a really high amount of
yeah.
people that are going to be qualified for or want to have the information that you're giving here. Uh,
Well, that could be. There's two of them that I didn't know before we talked. I'm just trying to think because most people don't do art, so they're not going to ask me how do I paint the pink on that painting behind you. No, they're not going to ask. How do I record a really good kick drum? I don't think so.
but what they
Uh,
do want is the desire. You maybe they want to make a nuclear reactor, or maybe they want that Japan girl, or maybe they want to start a liquor store. But what they want is the conviction and space. How do you have a creative ideas? How do you do this in your thing? Is not what I'm doing, but your process
yeah.
getting your
Okay.
goal. Okay,
Good.
yeah,
I
that's good.
like that.
Yeah, that's psychobabble now. Or good, it's good psychobabble now. Which is psychologists will tell you it's the process, not the goal,
Okay. Good.
that is as important, and sometimes in certain phases more important.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
as long as you can get hung up on that too, right? Run around in circles.
Yeah.
But
No, that's beautiful. That's great.
because I
As
mean,
usual, you're shining. On the book that I'm writing now about advertising in the 80s, I'm calling it Liars, Cheats, and Thieves.
uh-huh,
And it's coming along really good. I have you in the book, so you're in there quite a bit.
really.
Well, you get me started, but
Uh,
you end up going into something else, and we don't talk until later on. You know,
uh,
some other time in the
Whatever. I
next
don't
book or
know.
so.
It's a weird part of my life. A lot of too much speed, really, after a while. But I survived somehow.
Well, I think that this LM I sent you is kind of about this liars, cheats, and thieves about advertising in the 80s in San Francisco.
Uh,
And it's really taking shape. I'm using ChatGPT to help me write it. And
Good.
I could ask it, what are the different locations we were using in San Francisco? You know,
Apparently,
what are the characters' names again?
right.
You know,
Yeah, be careful.
wow.
You probably know sometimes it hallucinates when you do stuff like that. So corroborate some of the info.
I mean, I asked him, what are the obstacles of the seven characters I have? What are their goals and their obstacles?
Oh, I see. That's cool. Maybe it tells you the whole thing. Yeah, yeah.
Let's let's put up three setups and payoffs. Let's go seven setups and payoffs. Okay, well, he sees a Japanese girl in a college, and and then he goes to the party, and then he wants to everything Japanese. So eventually, he'll end up in Japan, and in the book, so there's it could create all the setups and payoffs, all the characters, their characters' goals, the characters' obstacles. It's amazing.
So will it do market research for you? Actually, will it
Yeah, absolutely,
say in
sure.
this demographic,
Yeah.
what does these various research? What do they say is what are they struggling with the most?
Okay, back to the
Pitches.
the seminar thing or the
Yeah,
uh
yeah. I
do
think
you
that's
think
great.
I you
That's
yeah, I'll
very
ask it
important.
that.
Your name and you like to have the logo and you like all that stuff in the name.
I'm not going to do that this time.
But I mean,
I'm
it's
yeah.
as important as that. To have that vision, which but I mean, actually, now you have the assistant to give you it very tangible. You don't have to sit around and think about, oh, what is my one-page business plan? Just okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
what
I'm
is my
just going to
one-page?
do it, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
Without knowing that, yeah,
I'm
sure.
gonna actually say that on a YouTube thing. Just say, I could come up with some fancy thing, fancy logos floating by. But really, basically, I have a lot of years, 40 years in advertising, and a lot of other experience living in Japan for 26 years, being a university teacher here, having five kids.
Well,
You want to know
that's
anything?
why
I can help you.
I gave you that suggestion though, because I think it's effective to have some sort of thing that comes on the screen. Like I have the Ed from Zerat logo. If you have something that's identifiable, some sort of picture, it can be just similar to your icons, you have that you have for Google and your email and all that kind of stuff. Your little pictures,
Okay.
but some little picture because that's whatever is what's his face, that big famous podcast guy. He has
Joe
one.
Reagan.
Yeah, Joe Rogan. Just Joe Rogan. Yeah, that comes on. I saw one of his podcasts. Maybe I misperceived it, but it was really cool. It just started with that logo, but then he just started talking like you did last week. Said, "Well,
Yeah,
here I
that's
am again."
perfect. Yeah.
And then boom, the logo went away,
Okay. I'll
and
do
there was
that
your
then.
picture. You see that immediately gives you 1 billion% production values, and it's real easy to do.
Okay. I'll do that then.
No music, nothing. That could be your trademark for a little while. In fact, Ed from Zerami want to use it too. It's so simple.
Yeah. Okay.
But you do have the ability to have that some kind of pop.
I'll do it. I'll do it with my name. I'll just put Anthony Jean
Yeah, yeah,
talks. It
great.
came up with something this morning. Anthony Jean talks.
Yeah, that's fine.
Or
Yeah,
Anthony. There was a bunch of them. I'll send it to you. See which ones you like. But
yeah, just something real
Anthony's
simple.
creative
But you can always change
consultant.
it. You can always change it. And just say, boom.
Creative consultant is kind of nice. I like that.
Uh-huh.
I like that. It sounds good. Even if you're helping someone being lonely or someone who is uh, trying to with their hobbies, trying to get. I think creative consultant says a lot.
It does say a lot. And the thing is, though, you want to can still communicate that authenticity. Sometimes creative consultants too gen dildo, whatever. I mean, too old.
Man, maybe.
What I think, you can ask Chat GPT, but that's my sense. They're not bad words to use, but it also goes too far when they start saying, "Oh, I'm the flame of life evangelist."
How about I was thinking an idea. Just this is weird idea, but talk here.
For a name of what? For the name of your.
Yeah, my thing. Talk here.
Yeah, sure. That's worth starting with. Yeah, it grabs your attention.
The other idea I had was Chatty Cathy Communications.
You might get some communication from somebody that's already using that chatty Cathy.
No, they checked it. It's open. Also, Broken Record.
Broken record. That's cool.
Because something usually is broken if they're gonna talk to me, right?
Seeking.
Uh, it. I also thought this is another weird one, but the Swedish lunch.
Swedish lunch. Oh,
Because I went to Sweden one time to do some consulting for somebody in 1888. They paid for everything. And I just sat there for lunch one time and just told the guy, well, you better do this, better do that. And it really helped him out. And he was remained a friend for years. So, and they loved it. ChatGPT said that's a great name because it's so cryptic and weird. But then I was thinking, what about Tokyo breakfast or something? I'm here in Japan in the morning with coffee, like
that is good.
coffee in the morning in Japan or something, like might be better.
No, I like that Tokyo breakfast. And what's your town? Where do you live in? Where is it?
Well, I wouldn't say my town, but maybe something to do with morning coffee in Japan or something like that
Uh-huh.
might be good.
Yeah, no, I think that has a ring to it. It's like, oh, really?
Oh, really?
What's it
Okay.
like? What's it like there? That's your.
Oh, I'm calling. Yeah, I'm calling Japan right now. I'm going to call this guy in Japan, and he's going to tell. So that's an aspect where the Swedish lunch does. I'm not in Sweden, so it doesn't have anything to do with it. I think the coffee in Japan is a good thing, and I could do some recording in Starbucks. In the morning when there's no one there. I
Yeah,
was thinking have my wife take me and just go. Yeah, thanks for the coffee. Let's sit down. Listen, people think I'm a know-it-all. They always tell me you're a know-it-all. You act like a know-it-all, and a lot of people don't like me for that. But you know what? I am a know-it-all, and you could profit from it.
yeah,
So give me a call. Like just
yeah,
have
yeah.
that kind of approach.
And you got a good. That's beautiful. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. ChatGPT loved that. Oh my God, that's golden.
yeah.
Yeah. So I like the logo idea, and then I could say on the little YouTube blurb ahead of time, just say, well, I was in advertising, but I know my way around Japan. I worked at a university. I have 5 kids. There's other things I know too. I don't know anything about taxes or money. I'm not that good with that. Or
No.
I'm not health. I drink a lot. I shouldn't drink so much wine. Okay, I know a little bit about wine, but those things. Don't ask me that stuff. That'd
But
be funny. It'd
if
be
you
authentic.
want to see when you say that stuff like that, but if you want to blah blah blah, I can do this or something. I mean, you know what I mean? If you tie it into their thing, you bring it in, so that makes it so that what you're telling on yourself for the lack of credibility for the money, it doesn't matter because you're gonna help them keep their dick hard longer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You know,
I mean, I don't have to self-deprecate myself that much about the money. That
well,
might not be kosher.
well, no,
But
vulnerability is not a bad idea in a talk. To make yourself
yeah,
human.
yeah,
But
a little bit. But maybe I shouldn't say that I'm not, good with money. That might not be good. But
uh,
we'll see.
yeah, you can say the idea though. Think about it. The idea of abundance. I mean, I know this is airy fairy a little bit, and you might be, you have to rely on the fact that life is a con. But you could con yourself into
Yeah,
thinking that even though you may not have a lot of money to spend, if
right.
you look around and what you can have gratitude for with your lifestyle, what you come home to, and what you live with, and what you have access to, even though through other people, you can really say that you have a measure of wealth beyond uh, maybe what you picture yourself as being worth. I mean, you actually live better
Well,
than you.
one of the things that I saw in the book Liars, Cheats, and Thieves that I didn't really realize was that I was on top of the world and I lost everything after that freaking earthquake. And after that, it was a precipitous drop, and I never got back that kind of money again, never.
Uh,
And that's okay because I did some other things and went in other directions. And I came to Japan and helped people at the university and became a professor, a teacher. And okay, so I actually crashed and burned and rebuilt myself. That's pretty valuable.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. That's how you turn around from vulnerability in your talk. You say, boom, 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 was this and that. But what it allowed me to realize
Yeah, right.
was that what this is blah 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 blah.
Right.
And then so I came to when I came to Japan and talk, I realized how I could give and understand and do the knowledge and empower people and it made their lives better. So now I want to do it through the advertising, and so
Exactly.
that's some kind of
I have a feeling that people don't really want to have information about how to market their business because I'm going to advertise on Facebook or Instagram. But I have a feeling that a lot of people are lonely and divorced and had a really bad marriage and a really
very
mean
depressed.
wife,
Yeah.
really horrible wife. And I know what that feels like. And uh, that's a really good point,
Well,
or
well,
connecting with your hobby after 50 or
yeah, I know the robot thing, right? I mean, in Japan, they all the men, a lot of men are getting robots and stuff for their
I don't know.
partners.
Possible. It's possible.
It's like
I
going
mean,
to
there's a lot of nice women here, though. I don't know why they would want that, but maybe they don't like Japanese women. I don't know.
because they need you.
Well, I certainly my stuff couldn't be marketed to Japanese people, but it could be marketed to Americans
Yeah.
or North Americans. I just wondered what kind of niches
Well,
my main question to you is what do you think other areas I could help people besides, well, you want to do some PR, you want to connect up with the community? Because I don't think a lot of people are going to ask me that. It's possible,
I think the
but
greatest strength you have is being the link between the United States and the culture and Japan and answering questions either through and so we've talked about the personal aspect, with the finding wives for people or whatever. To the music, it really doesn't matter. But if someone who wants to integrate or move or everything down to planning a trip before they come, they're coming for maybe the 3 month trip and they want to know this about Japan.
or they want to play music here, they want to bring
Yeah,
their band to Japan, or
right.
they want to they want to buy real estate in Japan, or they want to open a branch office of their coffee company. I know how to do all those things.
Because if you did a remote like in the recording studio in Tokyo for the club where these people hang out and interviewed somebody, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not that bad
There would
idea.
be people that would show that that you understand the the lay of the land, or it wouldn't have to be just the music business. It could be a coffee thing or the art place or however you wanted to.
I think most Americans are thinking
Apart.
to themselves, not opening a business, maybe not really buying real estate here, but they're thinking, I wouldn't mind just going to visit there
Right. That's
once, and if I like it, maybe I'll come back on more of a regular basis. How do I do that? How do I set that up where how do I meet people there? What's the best way to meet people there? What can I expect from those relationships? Uh, okay, that would be on the personal level. On the business level, I think they're thinking, I want to come bring my art in Japan and try to sell it. I want to bring my music here. I want to play in a club here. I want to have that experience of recording in a studio here. What would be the benefits of me putting my art in a gallery in Japan, or what
Mhm.
would be my benefits of recording in a studio in Japan? I know those benefits, and I know how to hook those up. But also, maybe I should say, you know what? I can't be your manager. I can't be your agent, but I suggest that you could find these people. This is how you navigate that. I don't want to take over their business and
Well, I think a easy example is with the networking group I used to be with BNI, Business Networking International, and
yeah,
you could just recommend that.
yeah.
That could be something you could recommend. Something. How do I get make business contacts in Japan? And blah 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 blah. Well,
Yeah.
you could have them go to a meeting. You may want to join your
Yeah, I'm
company.
sure there's a lot of sources that they're not thinking about,
Yeah, yeah.
but they might just be thinking in general. Could we bring our band? We have this band that does 30s music. Is it possible that we could
Sure, that'd be
actually? How
great.
much would it cost us?
Yeah, yeah.
What could we hope to gain from it? Where do we find
Great.
that information? Is it a viable idea? Even before all the statistical numbers, is it a viable idea? And I would say, selling your art in Japan could work. Absolutely. People are interested in Americans' vision of something.
Hmm.
Yeah. And they want to hear American music, country music, or interesting music for sure. And could you find an answer to your loneliness here or around here? Yes, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
Those are yes to all those.
I just got bitten by a gremlin. Oh no, it's okay. Uh,
Uh, yeah, so I think I'm going to keep exploring this idea about doing these Zoom calls in the morning. It's usually the morning for me as your afternoon or evening. So it's sit on ChatGPT while you're drinking coffee. They're sipping wine. It's perfect. So you say, how
Taste
about a
wine,
coffee? How about breakfast in Japan? You
sipping
know,
wine. Would you say drinking coffee and sipping wine?
yeah,
That's a great phrase. So work with.
yeah.
I'm drinking coffee and sipping wine.
Well, I mean, you could say, what do they say? Coffee for the things you can change, and wine for the things you can't.
Oh, that's right. That's cool. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I'm going to keep developing it. Check out the Chat GP, the LA new Notebook
Okay.
LM thing I sent you. It's pretty interesting. That's about the books that I want to write,
All right.
and it's going to be a lot simpler to write those books now with Chat GPT. A lot simpler.
Cool. Cool. Well, I'm glad that's going to help. All right. Are we going to get cut off any second
Yeah,
here?
we're going to get cut off. We'll talk next week,
Okay. Have fun.
and send me this so I can
I
have it
sure
as my
thing. Viva la
inspiration.
France. Viva la France. Ah, oui, oui. Ah, oui, excuse me.
Any more ideas? Just email me.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
great. Yeah, and I got some ideas for Ed too that I'll email. Okay,
All right.
beautiful. Have
See ya.
fun.
So long, Larkspur. Tokyo signing off.